Welcome back to Retirement is Underrated. I almost called it something else, but yes, retirement is underrated. We'll leave that in. But I want to welcome you guys back. It's Sunday afternoon. Just coming out here to my garage to kind of tell a little story that happened yesterday. And of course, I've got my tape measure out, so I'm selling some stuff on Facebook. So I got to measure it because everybody on Facebook loves to have things measured. So. Anyway, and I'm doing it in front of my garage here. And I guess today's topic is just decluttering and conversations. I guess that's what we can call it. My wife and I we're in the process of decluttering and getting rid of a lot of stuff in the house that we've had for years and moving it into, as we're going through some things and we're working on the house and getting things fixed up. So rather than keeping it all in the house, we're moving it out to the garage area. So I got some shelving units and stuff that we packed away for later on. So I'll show you a little video clip of the inside of our garage later on, just to kind of show you what we're doing. But we're in the process of decluttering different things that we had accumulated a bunch of Christmas stuff that my wife wanted to go through some gardening stuff, and then we had a couple things like a box in the garage that we really weren't using when we had some deck furniture that I'm going to list on Facebook. But just the process, it seems like decluttering is a non-ending process. I was almost wondering if I should call it decluttering or decrapifying, because we've got a lot of, pardon the expression, crap that accumulates over the years. It just piles up, and as soon as you clear some stuff, it fills right in with other stuff, and it's just amazing. But so I was super proud of my wife. There was an old Christmas tree that we were going to use one more year. That it has the fake snow on it, but the lights had long stopped working on it, and it was time to let it go. We were going to do it one more season, but she's the one who brought it up to me. She said, "Hey, let's get rid of it." So it's sitting there right over there in the trash can, which is a wonderful thing. Love that. So we were able to part with a lot of things. But part of the thing too in this whole decluttering process in our neighborhood, it's funny. We could put stuff out by our tree at the corner of the property, and we put a lot of stuff out there that either we don't sell on Facebook or we don't bring down to a place called Doors of Hope to help out them, to raise money for food for people who are in need. But we've gotten rid of a lot of stuff. But sometimes there's just things that nobody wants, and they make it to the corner, right by the tree. And yesterday was one of those times, and we had a couple old, when the kids were younger, we got one from, the keyboards where you plug them in. I think they're Casios. And the kids had written on the keys, the note, the letter of the notes that they were. And so we had those, and we had the stands for them, but nobody's used them in years and years and years. And I had a table in the back of the garage that we had our Christmas trees on. No intention to keep the table or anything, and I knew that I was going to get rid of it eventually, but we decided that yesterday was the day to pull it out. So lo and behold, I bring this leads to the conversation part of the decluttering. So it's wonderful just having the time to do this stuff in retirement. It's just one of the joys, and I'm going to get to it a little more. But we were bringing stuff out to the corner, and I brought things out. My wife was cleaning the dust off the keyboards, and then we had also some old snow shovels that we hadn't used in years. So those were piled against the tree. So we had like 3 or 4 snow shovels that we're going to get rid of. We had the big long table, probably 6-foot table at least, have set up on the corner, and I was going down to bring the keyboards down to the table. I ran into one neighbor, drove by, and I said, "Hey, how you doing?" And said, "Hey, you want some keyboards?" And she was just bringing her kids to a sporting event or dancing, some sort of thing. And she said she would drop by later to keep an eye, or take a look. So I thought, okay, maybe they'll go today. And lo and behold, and we're going to call him Ted. That's not his real name, but we'll call him Ted for privacy's sake. Ted from down the street comes driving by in his car. Now, Ted and Tim have the gift of gab. And he pulled his car by, asked how we were doing, and we started talking, and we kept on talking, and we kept on talking. And he had been to a bunch of different flea markets, or got a whole bunch of stuff that he bought to bring back. He's a collector. I don't know if he needs half the stuff he collects, but he's a collector. So he had his car full of stuff and was full of conversation. And I ran into Ted in a previous time at the grocery store, and we were talking forever. In fact, I think we were tying up one of the aisles, and it was like the older guy conversation time. And so it was funny. But we talked, and then my wife came out, and we started talking to Ted some more, and then leaned against the table, and I told him about the keyboards, and he said, "Yep, I could give those to my grandkids." So I brought the keyboards and the stands down to Ted's house, and then of course he would take the table as well and the snow shovels, because he was leaving no spot unturned. And so I brought the keyboards down to his house, just a short drive down the road, and so we drove down there. I got him his keyboards, and while we were down there, I think one of his trash cans was tipped over. It was empty, but we have bears in this area. So wasn't a bear around, thank goodness. But we dropped the keyboards off his house, and he went and got his truck, and we got the table and loaded up for him, and then proceeded to have a long conversation. But Ted is retired too and doing lots of things, and he's a few years older than me. He's probably got, I don't know, maybe 16, 18, maybe 20 years on me. He was a firefighter. Good guy. But it was great because we had time to talk and chat, and just really, conversations. Take the time to have conversations with people you meet. Over the years, we've had Ted over with my other neighbor who's since moved on, and my other neighbor across the street, and we have some bonfires out back, and they'd sit on the cart and have liquid refreshment or two, and we would have big bonfires, and we've built friendship over the years. And so I just stopped and talked, and it occurred to me, so few of us just stop to have conversations anymore. And you could do it while you're kind of in your mode of decluttering, or decrapifying, as we're doing, and we're going to be doing lots more. It's amazing the amount of stuff that we've gotten rid of over time. I've sold countless number of items on Facebook, and gosh, I've got a whole bunch more to sell. I'm selling propane tanks, you name it. We're getting rid of it, but it's a wonderful feeling. It's so freeing, and we'll talk about that another time. But just the whole idea, we could be about our business. We could be decluttering, straighten out things in our lives, and still take time and opportunities, because opportunities will arise to have those great conversations, and that's where we really get to know one another. And I got to know my neighbor a little bit more that yesterday, and then he came by and saw all the different things that we were doing, and we got to share some old memories. And he's gotten older, and he's got some hip pain and body pain and all sorts of pains, and it was a distraction for him just to even share a moment or two, because so few people really take the time to have conversations anymore. And excuse me about clearing my throat. I'm sure it's pronounced. Oh, a new addition, by the way, and maybe I'll talk about these later, but guys, you can actually hear me. I've got a microphone now. So my quiet voice is actually being able to be heard. So thank goodness for that. I forget who recommended this brand, but again, somebody on the community. So it's wonderful, and I tested it out before, so hopefully this will work out great. But take time to have those conversations. Make the opportunity. Maybe this is a kind of a combination of a whole bunch of stuff, but we're decluttering, we're having conversations, we're enjoying life. But take time. If you have the opportunity to talk to some of your neighbors in a situation like this, take the moment, get to know them. You might find out that they're okay, and you might have more in common than you think. We're looking forward to that day when my wife can be home full time with me, and I'm still hoping to get her on this channel one of these days. I think some of the ladies would appreciate talking with her rather than just seeing me. So anyway, that is our topic for today, decluttering and conversations. Take the opportunity to do both. Thank you for watching this video, and if you can, be sure to share the video. Be sure to like, and if you're not subscribed, please subscribe. It really helps the algorithm recognize the channel more, and I'm encouraged the way the channel's growing. And I hope you come back. We're going to have lots more conversations, but I look forward to talking with you. And most of all, have a great day and best wishes. Bye-bye. We're going to take a look inside the garage. I know I mentioned in the video that I want to show you the inside of the garage, so let's take a look inside. What do you think? Bye-bye. Just as a side note, when we were decluttering in the garage and going through things, my wife saved these two items. I was hoping that they'd go away, but hey, happy wife, happy life. She likes them, so they're staying with us.